Alright, so this is Final Fantasy, continuing Final Fantasy 6. I'm not exactly sure how far I am into the story, now that I think about it. I thought this floating city was much later into the game, but maybe it wasn't. But I'm gonna proceed forward. If I die a couple of times, I don't know. We'll have to see. What the hell? Wait, was this just a cave? Well, I'll just play the game. I don't need to talk for this one. But I think I will turn off encounters off, simply because I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go. I turn it back on when I have some idea of where exactly I'm supposed to be traveling, because I don't want to keep running into enemies over and over again, because I don't know exactly where I'm supposed to be going. Chicken with his head cut off. So hopefully I could find out where I'm supposed to go. See, that's what I don't want. I don't want to go backwards, I'm trying to go forwards. But I'll probably figure it out eventually. And I'm not trying to go back onto my ship either. So I need to know where I'm supposed to go. It's a dead end. If I look at the map doesn't have a, it has an entryway, which is you drop off at the very beginning, starting point over here, and then you proceed forward, but then you go all the way down, and then you get in the middle. The middle is where you can jump back onto your ship and escape the floating fortress or the floating city, but there's no door leading to anywhere else. This is the confusing part about old games. You will literally run around and getting into fights over and over again with no clue of where you're supposed to go. Sometimes it could be good if you're trying to level up, but if you're just trying to proceed to the story, it's not good at all. Especially because it's 2D, you can't tell exactly if there's any nothing back here. Hmm. Strange. Maybe. That just leads here. already activated this. In situations like this, that's the reason why you have encounter on and encounter off. Because you could literally be here for hours trying to find out exactly where the hell you're supposed to go in a 2D game. And there's no exit window. There's just an entry point, which is here with the yellow. There's nowhere, it's not showing you where you're supposed to go. So you would be here getting into encounter battles over and over again until you're dead. Because you don't know where the hell to go. So I turned it off just so I could figure out what in the world's going on. Yeah, this makes no sense. I've been down here before. What the hell is going on? And the thing is, I don't want to return to my ship, because that's where this is. You return to your ship, you leave, you get back onto your ship, and then you return back to the floating city. Where's the goddamn exit? Oh, there it is. What the hell? It was there the whole time? 2D games, man. 2D games. Oh, that's some bullshit. He locked off all of my summons. Shit, man. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. He had status effect stuff on him. Oh shit, man. I might have to do this over. Okay, so yeah, I'm done for. There's no way. Yeah, I'm gonna start this over. Return to title screen. I had no idea he would do status effect stuff. Alright, so load again. And this time I set up my, or maybe Espers. He has on Espers. Oh, he didn't have on an Esper. What the hell? Neither did him. Like, what the hell? I went into the battle without no Espers on? Okay, so maybe Catsit will confuse him. If Catsit can confuse him, I'll use Catsit. Our dial will work. And Seraph is just a one-time heal thing. So that's not going to do much. And he casts Petrify, so Petrify is not going to work on him. Maybe Reflect All would work. If Reflect All works, I'll try that. By defeating him, you get the ultimate ability. So he was silenced. So I have no equipment for silence. Okay, maybe I should leave and get the hell out of here. This boss seems to have... I need more ribbons. But I doubt anywhere sells more ribbons. Let me just turn this off and return to the surface. And get on my airship and leave. Because there's no way I could fight him without him casting status effect on my party. Maybe I have the wrong party. Maybe that's the problem. I'm supposed to have the ninja. Maybe I'm only supposed to have magic users with me. I think that's the problem. I bring in Gao and stuff and he keeps doing the same damn thing once he transforms into a certain beast. And you can't revert back, so Gao was a bad idea. Yeah, it was a bad idea. This was a bad setup. I need people who could deal with that dude. Actually, an entire party. Okay, so Terra, she does heals. And her magic damage hits hard. And I believe if she does ruin, if the enemy hits her with a magic attacks, if she has ruin on, it won't do any damage to her. But she's susceptible to status effect. But the heaviest hitters are Cyan and him. But with the Guild Toss, that's a guarantee hit. But he has the guarantee heals. That's the thing. He has a guarantee heal ability. He sucks. I should have never brought him with me. I think Strago is the key. I think all magic users, all three of them are magic users, is the key. And he's the hitter. That Gil Toss is like is OP. I'll try with this. Yeah, before I fight him, I'm gonna look for more ribbons rather than go to Floating City and try to fight him again. I believe right now I only have one ribbon, and I need to know where I could find more ribbons. Oh, that's it. That's it. Oh, for Christ's sakes. I just realized what it is. There's a reason why certain stores aren't selling ribbons is because I believe you have to steal the ribbon using lock. So Locke has to be part of the team. Done. Poison and darkness, poison darkness. I'm so confused. Oh, I keep forgetting. Um, you need to have his mug ability on to steal it, I believe. Which means he might get status effect. But I don't want him to. I rather have Berserk and this on than the other ones. Because there's no one selling at all. I went to all the stores. Nobody's selling ribbons. So I believe you have to steal it. That's a cave. That's a cave. So let me assess that battle. That battle, what defeated me in that battle is the status effect. Once he cast it on me, I was done for. If I had cast regen with Kirin, I would slowly be regening like 52 health per every 20 seconds. But that still wouldn't be enough to save me. I would need something that would do heal on a heal all ability, which means maybe my problem is that I haven't been farming enough, which kind of makes no goddamn sense because I've been 43 hours in. That means 20 hours of the story has passed already, and another 23 hours was with regards to me farming. So I've been farming equal the amount of time of the story from the beginning of the game to now. So I don't understand how I still haven't unlocked certain abilities yet. Literally all my ability for almost every character is almost fully unlocked. Like Seraph is at star, unless here's the thing I'm thinking about. So if I go on to magic, it says for certain things I got 93% of this still left. 5% of gravity is needed. 3% berserk is needed. 3% vanish. Poison is almost done. Dispel is almost done. But I don't care about that. I care about an ability that could do a cure all. But apparently there's no cure all ability. There's only cure and cura. So, and for the Esper, the Star, the Seraph, it's been already present unless I need to find yet another summons that does the cure all. And I have yet to find that. So, I don't know. Do I have to farm another 20 hours just to unlock it? Or is there something that I'm missing? I'm not seeing that's right in front of me. Maybe it's Carbuncle's ability. Maybe you just have to put reflect on and pray for the best. And the worst thing is, even though I have 4 people in party here, I eventually will have to take one of them out because the ninja joins me regardless. So I can't take Terra out, and I might have to use Locke to steal from the Ultima Beast to steal it from him, the ability, which means it's a toss-up between Strago and Sabin, and I'm not gonna not use Strago because Strago has a heal all ability. Ah man. I mean, his magic is, he has the same type of magic that Terra does, and he has lore ability, but they're restore all allies and amount caster current H. See, and he has a heal all ability as well. As long as you have magic points, he has a heal all ability too. So that's 2 people with the heal all ability, but I need him to do steal. So the only person that seems to be a liability here is Terra. But if once she transforms into her Esper form, her magic hits harder than, like 3 times harder than before. So it really is a toss-up between Terra and the ninja. Ah, God. I think I'll have to just... I know none of these places is selling the ribbon. I'll have to see if I could steal the ribbon from this. I will have to land here and see if I could steal the ribbon, because now that I'm further in the game, more monsters are appearing in Gao's little terrain here. So hopefully the powerful monsters will pop up that will be able to steal a ribbon from them. But you know what? Before I waste time, let me look online to see who can I steal a ribbon from in Final Fantasy VI. Because this will be a lot of wasted time. What's the easiest way to get ribbons in Final Fantasy VI? That's what I want to know. I'm looking for ribbons. Answer. Brachiosaurus in the dinosaur forest. But that's further into the damn game, man. That's a rare steel. Have ribbons. 4 ribbons are granted. Christ's sakes, man. Where to find ribbons? Where to find more ribbons? Where to find more ribbons? Early game. Final Fantasy VI. Okay. It says here, Colosseum sequence for ribbons. I haven't gotten to the Colosseum yet. Treasures. I found one ribbon from a treasure. Monsters which have ribbons. Atama weapon. But like, Christ almighty. All of those are further into the game. Alright, so I gotta gamble. This is... I'm gonna go into combat. Screw it, I'm gonna go into combat. I was planning on farming here. This might take forever. And these guys are all weaklings. Whether I steal will do nothing. So I'm gonna go to the castle and the floating castle and gamble on this versus the ultimate weapon. I mean, not the ultimate weapon, but the enemy using the ultimate ability. And the ninja would probably be here. Done. Now his standard attack is sucks, but his evasion goes up by a full 10 points more, as well as his magic goes up by 2 points. Agility goes up by 39, 40, 41, 3 points. So he might dodge like 3 more times. Yeah, I have to gamble with that. I don't like gamble. Actually, no, I don't gamble. I don't know why I say gamble. It just makes more sense. Like I would be able to evade the attacks if I have more evasion. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn this off because I don't need to fight regular enemies, and I'll just get into a combat with him and him alone and see how that goes. If I could steal his ultimate ability, and he probably won't be able to use it. What the hell? Like people who think Final Fantasy is easy, like it's easy with regards to the strength of the enemy, but it's hard with regards to strategy because you don't know what works and what doesn't work, and you might die multiple times because you can't figure it out. The hell? Uh, the sucky part about this is remembering all these stupid things. Like, No, that's not it. I'm so glad that this game has an encounter on and off. Otherwise I would be in continuous fight trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. It's taking me back here. I think I went here. Then I did this. And here. It was no, it wasn't there. It was, okay. No. Oh no, it's the wrong. Wait, hold on. Was it here? Yeah, it was here. Okay. Okay, so maybe I should go and save at the safe spot. That's on the right side. So I don't have to do this crap all over again. If I die, it would make me, yeah, right here. Ultima Weapon. That was his name, jeez. That's some serious bullshit, man. How the hell am I supposed to? Plus he's frozen, man. Like, how the hell? How am I supposed to fight this thing? He basically casts status effect on everybody of all different types. Both petrify and like, why is Locke petrified? That's my thing. Why is he petrified? He has ribbon on him. He should not be petrified. He should not have zombie. He should not be a zombie. That doesn't make sense. That's the thing that is strange to me. He's not dead, he's a zombie. Both of them are, Shadow and Locke. But Locke has a ribbon on. So what the fuck is going on here? This makes no sense. That shit makes no sense. Everything else made sense, but Locke didn't make sense at all. The ribbon's supposed to block all status effects. So how did he turn into a zombie? I need something to block all those status effects. To resist status. Oh, he doesn't have. Wait a minute. Who the f... Oh, Sabin have ribbon on. So Sabin was killed, and then these two... Okay, I see. Right. Okay, so I'll remove the ribbon from him. No, but that doesn't make sense, because he and Strago heals. So I'll remove the ribbon from him and put it on Strago. And screw Whitecap, man. I don't have time for that. Wait, but he has okay, so cast reflect on where? So I think if I'm gonna put reflect on, I'm gonna have to heal with items rather than magic. Or maybe I should have reflect on. No, because reflect doesn't resist ribbons. I mean, doesn't resist status effect. Poison, darkness, zombie. I was doing good. I wonder if I put jump on all of them. If I put the jump command on all of them. Yeah, I'm gonna go with jump. Because if I put jump command on all of them, when the enemy does something, I won't be able to... It won't hit me, because I'm in jump status. So I will have to know exactly when to jump. Alright, so I'll put jump on Strago as well. First I'll put ribbon on and jump. Alright, so when he's about to do any attack, or... But how do I know when he's about to do it? Okay, so let me rethink the situation. The Esper he has on, only Carbuncle works. Got it, that works. Carbuncle works, but Carbuncle only works once. Eventually wears off. So it makes sense to have reflect on. Okay, I'll have reflect on. I won't steal anything from him. I'll just have reflect on. Reflect ring. The hell? Peace ring, barrier ring. 3 reflect rings. Okay. I will have boost, and so he's going to be weak to status effect. So he would have to jump out the way so the status effect doesn't work. He needs Ribbon on, and I'll put reflect on him as well. Oh, zombie petrified death. So he's not going to have reflect on either. And he's going to also have reflect. I'm scared about reflect because once I heal my party, depending on what I'm using, it might heal the enemy as well. The reflect ring. But I'm going to see how this one works. Okay, so Carbuncle only works once. Kirin. I didn't even get the chance to use Kirin. I should have. Okay. He doesn't use any. Oh, wait a minute. He does, but I never had it on. What the hell? I wonder if turning invisible does anything. If I go invisible, would he not hit me with status effect? Can I cast silence on him? Well, I tried to do it before with Katsa and it didn't work. So if I go invisible, would that do anything? Somehow I don't think it'll do anything. But I'll try. And then finally, he's going to remove status effects. As if he doesn't die. Okay, I'm gonna try this one out. If this doesn't work, I might need to level up some more. There's something here, something that I'm not seeing, that's needed for this battle, and I'm assuming that something is Terra. Something might be Terra, or I think it's Terra and Realm, because Realm does turns an enemy into her and then does their same ability. But Realm doesn't have a heal all ability that Strago and Sabin does. Okay. And I might need to do something else for this battle. I might need to put the battle as slow, so I can make decisions and don't make wrong decisions. Okay. Wait, what? The volume is that low for the game? What the hell? Why was it? Why did I have it that low? Okay. Let's try this again. Oh, Christ almighty. This is the problem with this boss. He's not that hard. It's just so fucking stupid. Like, the game knows I don't have this shit. I need to remedy everyone before he does his ultimate ability. Because he's about to do it. Like, the game knows I don't have it. What I don't understand is, like, if I have ribbon on one of my characters, why the fuck isn't my ribbon working? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. It really doesn't make sense. Be like, why does ribbon exist if ribbon doesn't do anything? Okay. Let's get back to, let's focus. Come on, we can still do this. Come on. This son of a bitch, man. Okay, I think I can still do this. Raise. Hey, come on, man. Okay, so maybe I should have haste ring on. I think I should have haste on. I think I should have haste on. I'm already fucked, man. Come on. What kind of heal is that? That's the pussiest heal I've ever seen in my life. And he does it to everyone. Oh my god. The lore is the most garbage shit of all time. Well, maybe it isn't, but... remove this guy's confusion, man. He's bugging out. Come on. Let's just try to kill him. I mean, it was working. I mean, this was working. Come on. Let's kill him already. And this is working perfectly. I need everyone to focus the fuck up. Come on. Let's try. Okay, that's good. Shadow. What? What kind of bullshit is that? This guy, man. It's like the game knows you don't have ribbon. It's like the game knows you don't have ribbon. That's excellent. Excellent. I did it. Okay. It was working now. He ran away. But I'm not going to jump onto my ship. Oh, wait a minute. He ran away, so maybe I should jump onto the ship. Yes. Just to be safe. I beat him, so I could save now. I'm so happy because I know now what is needed to beat certain enemies that are powerful. I need 2 healers and I need 4 ribbons. As long as I have 2 healers and 4 ribbons and at least one person that could do status effect removal, I'm good. So I have 2 healers, I have 1 ribbon, but I need 3 more ribbons. Yeah, okay. That was good. That was good. It was a good fight. I swear I thought I would have to level up again. So now, this time, now that the ninja's out of the picture, I can now put Terra in this place. I wasn't able to steal from him with Locke, so maybe I should get rid of Locke. Because Locke really is useless. He's only good for stealing. Yeah, I'll get rid of Locke. So the 2 healers, I'm gonna put them back. Now does he do heals? I believe he does heals as well. I think so. No, he doesn't do heals. but his level's so low. Everyone's level's high in the thousands. His level is low. I think I'll keep using him. Stats are... He's 24, 27, 30. He's the lowest ranked person in the team, so I need to level him up. Him and Gao are neck and neck. Or Ga, however you want to say his name. Optimize, optimize. Okay. I think she has Princess Ring, yeah. And well, freaking jump ability didn't work, so I was kind of screwed on that front. And Reflect Ring didn't do jack shit, so might as well put Haste and something to protect from Berserk on. So 2 characters have Haste on. Maybe I should have 3 characters have haste on her. The problem with, yeah, I think his Guild Toss ability is so good though. It's a guarantee hit thing, where the others are just gambling. You're just gambling. The Guild Toss is a guarantee hit. Magic defense goes up by 5. If Carbuncle is on, then I'll leave this the way it is. All right. Oh yeah, an ability for both of them. Okay, so I have to make sure the character's unicorn, which was, no, Sabin still have unicorn. And I really should, actually, now I think about it, I should put Ribbon. Ribbon shouldn't go on Strago, it should go on the guy that does status effect removal. So the Esper unicorn should actually be on Strago. since he has the ribbon on. And this time I'm going to invisibility and do jack shit. But maybe it does, because invisibility allows you to the enemy to hit you less. But it really doesn't do much. You force the enemy. I think what invisibility does, it forces the enemy to resort to magic powers. And if I have Carbuncle on, then the enemy's going to get hit by Carbuncle. And the reflection of Carbuncle is going to go back. So Carbuncle's on Terra. Karen's on Stetzer. Unicorn's on Strago. Yeah. I think this will work. I have two hard hitters here. I have Terra, hits hard with magic, and Sabin hits hard with magic. Then you have medium hitter and weaker hitter, and two weak hitters. Yeah, I think I'm good. I was thinking maybe I should switch to Gao just to farm this location. Now that I beat the ultimate dragon, maybe he'll pop up again on Gao's little planes of existence. I doubt it though. But now that I think about it, shouldn't I get ultimate weapon? I defeated him. I think that only works with a knight. I might have to switch again. It's annoying. But it's not that annoying because if I switch to her, or Sabin. Terra. Healer. And he's more like a samurai. I need a knight. Yeah, okay. So this makes more sense. Okay. Alright, and summons. Unicorn was on Strago. Strago's still in my party. That starts in the party anymore. Okay, so the weapon. Yeah, he only had the mithril knife. Let's try her. Okay, there it is. Ultimate weapon. I thought I had that before. Yeah, I had that before. Maybe I'm a bit confused here. Maybe the magic that I was given is the ultimate magic ability, but I don't see it. Not with her. Both of them weren't in combat. No, so it's not a magic ability. It's not a weapon. It's not a relic. So what was the point of that fight? Just to get into a fight? Okay, so I'm going to try this out. Actually, no, I'm not going to try this out. Apparently, he didn't give me anything. So yeah, I'm not going to use her. Shit, I'm wasting time here. You know what? I'll all members, and I'll pick the party I want to pick now to check Gao's ability for farming. Or Gauss. He needs to level up. She's going to be in my main party, and he's at 27, and Strago is at 33. So the two weakest levels in here, and she's pretty high up in level. She's pretty weak in level too, so maybe I shouldn't use Terra. All three of these ones are the weakest in the party. And her too. Actually, now I think about it. Yeah, all three of these, 4 of these, are the weakest in the party. So they all need to be leveled up. I almost got killed by that ultimate weapon simply because my health wasn't that high. So I need to level up all these characters before we reach end game, or even the halfway point of the game. Now, who has the highest magic evasion? We'll see. Oh, his magic evasion is trash. It's Celeste and Realm. Magic defense. So Realm has the highest evasion and magic evasion. So Realm should be the person to have the ribbon on and has the ability to remove status effects, simply because she's most likely the one that could turn people back to normal. Okay. And second most agile is this dude, even though his magic defense is lower than Realm's. He does have the ability to evade better than Celeste. So I would give him I'll make sure he has the ability of. But the problem with him is that once you use an ability, he uses it constantly over and over and over again. So the sucky part about him, once he's stuck in one type of monster mode, you can't get him out of it. So it'll have to be a type of monster attack that's... Oh, wait a minute. What if he does a monster attack that constantly heals allies? Then he doesn't suck. So Karen is a one-shot thing. I think I'll use Karen on him. And since his evasion is high, yeah. Okay. I do need to level up those other ones though. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's the problem I'm having. But no, I'll just go with what I got at the moment. Celeste is the second most evasive one. For Carbuncle. Equipment. Princess Ring. You should all have haste on them. At least I think so. He's the only one that doesn't need guilt. Oh no, maybe I'm right. Roma has that. It's Carbuncle. It's Kirin. And Catsit. Freaked. He only needs to max out two. One to use Petrify and the other to use... I don't think if Petrify would do anything for him. But I'll try this. Okay, so where we are on all this. Everything's there, and there. That's good. And all abilities are set. I think this is fine for where we are now. So now Gao could do his ability to steal things from enemies, and maybe Ultimate Weapon will show up here. Actually, you know what? The only one way for them to actually show up here is for me to go to Floating Castle and fight different enemies, and then they'll show up there. But I'm gonna proceed forward with the story rather than continue to fight enemies. I'll do that on my own time. The thing is, it might not even be a fight. It might just be a story, and the actual fight was the Ultimate Weapon. So let me proceed forward with the story then, and make sure I have everything set properly. Karen. And this is why Final Fantasy VI is the defining point between the Final Fantasy series. Because before, from Final Fantasy 1 to 5, it wasn't this epic. It was epic in 5 and 4, but it wasn't this epic. The world wasn't splitting open. There wasn't giant floating cities. Um, the world didn't split apart. Like, this is epic. The world literally separated into sections. Like, the world that used to live, all the lands together, all the lands were split apart. Some were raised into the air, others were separated, but all the lands that were together were upheaved and separated. Even the water wasn't the same anymore. A lot of people died from earthquakes and tsunamis. Basically, he reshaped the landscape of the entire planet itself. So, you're talking about Noah and everyone dying from floods and stuff in Noah. And it's like basically a biblical thing. Because the whole thing about Noah is the whole place, the world was flooded. But I'm pretty sure it was a hell of a lot more than that. There were probably earthquakes and tsunamis and a whole lot of other shit that they don't tell you about. And that's basically what it is. Like, majority of society probably got wiped out by this asshole Kefka. But it's not going to show in this type of game that the lands that upheave from out of the ground, everyone probably fell into the ground, and those that were upheaved into the air, or lands that went into the air, people fall to their death from the sky. I don't even want to talk about volcanoes and stuff that probably erupted and all kinds of crazy stuff, and lands that probably sunk underwater. Whichever ones were upheaved, all the other lands that were the conglomerate rock folded on top of each other probably crumbled in the center, or they sank underwater. That's the way I see it. Because if you're talking about water on land, the entire planet is a huge circle, and only spikes there or showing outside of the water on the very edges section, and all the other water section are on the mantle leading into, yeah, from the mantle surface, the surface of the mantle, and that's it. Anything below the mantle is just nothing but conglomerate rocks and even more rocks layered on top of that. So as deep as the ocean is, from the very bottom deep depths of the ocean, the furthest depths of the ocean, from that very base going all the way past the crust, all the way past the mantle of the earth, is far more deeper. This dude literally split up not the center of the earth, but he basically split up the crust of the earth. All the lands that were on the crust of the earth, separate them from the mantle of the earth, split them up, basically remove the crust from the earth completely, and separate them into sections, and pulled some of them out of the ground, and the others, they sunk into the ground. So they were collapsed under a vast amount of water that were left from the ones from the, I guess well, would that work? How would that work? Because if you put more physical objects in water, water rises. So yeah, no, the Earth's probably oceans were droughted, where they sunk in more, leaving more landmass from deep underneath the water to show deeper foliage, and a lot of the earth probably was more upheaved or shown from seawater level, from surface water all the way down more, based on the fact that many of the crust surface and land and mountains were raised up. So that's what happens. Kefka literally used the three powers to lift the crust of the planet from the mantle, because you have the crust, you have the mantle, and then you have the center of the earth. So he moved the lands not only apart, but he removed some of them upwards. So he separated the crust from the mantle, and that killed a lot of people. So I haven't seen stuff like that in any Final Fantasy to this day. This is why Final Fantasy VI is one of the most epic stories, or one of the many epic stories, and it's in the top 5 of Final Fantasy games. Because no Final Fantasy game has a guy basically upheave the entire goddamn planet. None. I mean, not the full planet, but the entire crust of the planet. That means, like, think about it. Like, the crust of a planet is like the crust on a pie. The moment you remove the crust from the pie, you see all the insides of the pie. And where do human beings live? On the crust of the planet. With all the mountains and all the vegetations and all the hills, all of that was upheaved and separated. So a lot of people died. Straight up Noah's Ark. The entire planet, not just a section, the entire planet. A lot of people died. They haven't shown this as Final Fantasy ever since 6. It kind of did something similar in 7, but not to this level. And it did something almost similar like that in 15 or 16. I'm not sure which one, but definitely not to this level. They tried to replicate the whole end of the world thing with Final Fantasy 8 and 9, but they didn't literally show the planet being split apart like in Final Fantasy 6. That's why this is my favorite Final Fantasy game. If not 6, then 10. 7 would be my third. I think only the reason why 10 will be my first is because the story is so much stronger in 10. And the love story is also stronger in 10. And the animation is stronger as well. This is just 2D. But this is really the defining moment in the Final Fantasy franchise that propelled them to Squaresoft, when they were called Squaresoft, to greater heights. If it wasn't for this, they wouldn't have the budget to make something like Final Fantasy VII. They would have to make another Final Fantasy VII, and it would still look 2D like this. They wouldn't have had the budget for a 3D Final Fantasy VII. So 6 was really the turning point in Squaresoft's history. It's the first magnum opus within their arsenal. I believe the second one was Final Fantasy VII. And their Golden Chariot, or should I say their award-winning one, you know, their Superman in the franchise turned out to be 10. So after Final Fantasy X, they were famous everywhere. Like literally everywhere. And they got all the money they need to make any Final Fantasy game moving forward. It was no longer about budget, whether they had the budget or not, after the success of 10. So 3 games defined Final Fantasy, or should I say 3 games defined Square Soft, or Square Enix, as they're called now. 6, 7, and 10. Those were the 3 games that defined them. 6 propelled them into heights internationally. 7 made them famous internationally. And 10 made them an award-winning company internationally. that a lot of sponsors and companies would budget them. Whether they have that type of budget now is unknown, but they exist now because of those three games, primarily. From 1 to 5, sure, it was good. But if it wasn't for 6, there would be no 7. And if it wasn't for 7, there would be no Fame. And if it wasn't for an award-winning, multi-award-winning game like 10, there would be no mass amount of money going into the company. So yeah, I beat the Ultimate Weapon finally, and I could now save here and continue some other time. But I'll play for another hour since it's Thanksgiving, and I'll call it a day and hop onto Warframe around 10 o'clock, 10 or 11. And there's another thing, and that's another thing. You notice that enemies are dying on their own even if I don't attack them? Because the world is so fucked up now. Even the water's polluted. It's not blue water anymore. The water's so polluted and destroyed and contaminated. And the land is so deformed, it's not green anymore. The animals, even though they want to attack you, they die simply from pollution, or if it's not pollution, simply from starvation. Or the game is trying to tell you something. Like, they don't even have the power to attack you. They die automatically in combat. Look, I'm not even going to do anything, and watch, they'll all die by themselves. See, they died just like that. And that one that's on their body is like, it's an indication to tell you that they're damaged. Something is damaging them. So whatever Kefka did, it's killing the animals. So they probably drank from the water here, and all types of creatures drank from the water here, and they probably all are being poisoned internally. Or the land is so ravaged they can't even survive past, like, just one hit towards you would lead to them all dying. That's some real psychotic stuff. And there's nothing around anywhere. There's nowhere to go. I went outside, ran around. You go left, you go right, you go up, you go down. You still come outside here. And there's nothing out here at all. That's the same type of creatures. The pepper, and they just die. None of your friends are with you. I'm gonna stay in the desert and see what happens in the desert area. Maybe something happens here. But I doubt it. I think they'll all die. Yeah, they all died. Whatever Kefka did, creatures are just automatically dying on their own. You don't see that in any Final Fantasies either, to this day either. Like, a behemoth straight up attacks you and then all of a sudden, before he even does his second attack, he dies. Yeah, I think Final Fantasy VI was particularly dark. Darker than the first 5 Final Fantasies because it introduced like mass murder of the entire planet, people and animals. I mean, Kefka already poisoned the lakes from Dome Castle for Sion's people, but here he just basically killed everyone on the planet, including animals that are poisoned, trying to survive. Even the good doctor is struggling to survive inside this little house here. Like, if I go in the house, he's coughing up a lung, like he's going to die soon. See? She's like, this is her granddad, but he's going to die. Whatever Kefka did is affecting everyone. It's not just poison, it's something that's happened to everyone internally. Because if it was poison, then all you need to do is stay away from the water. But it's something that he is doing that's affecting everyone, killing off life. Yeah, this Final Fantasy was particularly dark. He basically just committed mass murder. Start acing everyone. Yeah, this Final Fantasy was dark as balls, man. Whatever Kefka did to them, that caused them to internally start to manually die out or poisoned. The ones that did survive, humans that did survive, that were sick, they decided to just commit suicide and throw themselves off cliffs. Yeah, this Final Fantasy was very dark. I completely forgot the whole suicide thing. Now, nowadays you can't even say suicide online without someone getting a tissy fit. But it is what it is. Maybe if I say seppuku or something, but that means you would have to manually ace your own self, and that's not what's happening. I'm not even sure if this music is copywritten, so I'm going to keep talking. Maybe it's copywritten. I noticed 2 of my Final Fantasy videos were blocked and copywritten, so I'm just going to keep talking over this one. And hopefully the stupid ass bot realized that I'm literally talking while the music is going and don't copyright it. Or maybe, see, this is how stupid YouTube is. I think the bot is so dumb, the bot is going to assume that me talking is part of the music. That's how dumb their bots are. Their bots cannot distinguish that you're talking on top of the music, and it's going to assume that you're actually part of the music. And YouTube they're not going to try to rectify this. They're just going to leave it as is. I don't understand YouTube, man. They literally became famous because they allowed you to watch videos on their channel for free. But then after they got a lot of sponsors and stuff, you know, and they're still doing it, they still decide to continue to allow you to watch stuff on their channel for free because that's what their channel is all about. Anyone could watch YouTube videos. If they start charging people to watch YouTube, like you're watching HBO or something, then nobody will watch YouTube anymore. So because they know this, they don't fix anything that's behind the scenes like copywritten music unless you have money to fix it for you. So it's a give and a take thing with YouTube, man. I don't think this music is copywritten. I think this is just in-game music, so I'm cool with keeping quiet with this type of music. Yeah, Celeste jumped off of the hill to commit suicide, but she ended up surviving. Like, this Final Fantasy was actually dark, man. Like, if my video gets blocked or copyright simply because I use the word suicide, I'd be like, man, fuck you, man. Like, grow the hell up. My channel is basically says not for kids. Alright, so I'm gonna see if these animals are gonna die here automatically. These ones aren't dying automatically. That's weird. The only reason I did the off and on with regards to combat there is that that's not really necessary for um, the overall story. That's just like an interruption with regards to the story, saving this woman's kid. Um, if you fail it, all it does is slow down the story of the game. And the only thing I'm concerned with failing are boss fights, um, not random encounters, which that is just a random encounter. Or a random event if it's not an encounter. That was a random event. It's not necessary for the general story. It's where you meet Sabin again, but fighting the enemies in there won't change anything. So I think I'll save it here. Um, Either I don't play Warframe today, and I continue on, or I play Warframe tomorrow and I don't play this tomorrow, and I finish up Blue Affections. I think that's the best thing. So since I only play Warframe for about 2 to 3 hours, um, I'll probably only do Blue Affections for like maybe 1 hour most of the story, and then I'll be able to give a clear definition of that game, demo on that game. But this is turning out good so far. It's Thanksgiving. I don't have to worry about going to work tomorrow, even though today is the Thanksgiving day off. So I'm enjoying this day. Food, relaxation, drinks. I already spent time with relatives that came over, so I'm not worried about that. I just have to do my, after I finish this, I'll do about 5 hours of my work online, then I'll go to sleep probably like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll refresh and rinse and repeat. So yeah, everything is going good. So I'll probably do this for maybe 30 more minutes. Yeah, about 30 more minutes. Once it hits the 4 hour marker, then I'll hop off, because I don't typically play any games for like more than 4.5 hours. I believe the only time I did like 5 hours is when I was trying to finish Alan Wake. So yeah, I'll do like half hour more and then I'll call it a day. But if my internet holds up, maybe I'll do a 4.5 hours. Because technically I already, like, if I'm considering the amount of time I did grind, I did like 20 hours, 20 or 23 hours of grind and 20 hours of story. So I've technically only played this game for an additional 3 hours today. Yeah. So far I got through 23 hours of the story so far. So I passed like the quarter marker of the game, I believe. I don't believe I'm fully past the halfway marker of the game, but I could be wrong. The whole floating city could have been the halfway marker of the game, but I don't think it is. I believe it's the 35% marker of the game, not the halfway point of the game. But who knows? I'll have to check it out as I'm proceeding through the story. Maybe 3 days from now. I think I'll equip the enhancer on Edgar. Because I believe I have the strongest weapon, or maybe the second strongest weapon in the game. The ultimate weapon. So if I have the ultimate weapon, I might actually be at the halfway point of the game. Or maybe, I don't know. It doesn't feel like I'm at the halfway point of the game. I feel like I'm at the 35 to maybe 40% marker of the game. But if I am at the halfway point of the game, I believe the halfway point of the game is like 20 hours. And the other half of the game is like another 20 hours, 40 hours. And if you consider the amount of time you need to grind to level up, that's another 20 hours. And loots and resources and secrets, that's another 20 hours. Or if not another 20 hours, another 10 hours. So I'd say this game is anywhere from, like, if you were to complete every single thing in the game, this is anywhere for a 70 or 80 hour game. 90 to about 100 hours if you're trying to like be a completionist and find everything. But if you're not trying to be a completionist, but you are trying to find everything and you go over the 75% marker or the 65% marker of the game, yeah, this is anywhere from about a 60 hour to an 80 hour game if you're trying to like find everything. But here's the thing, but I believe if you take off the encounter, random encounters, then it goes from a 60 to an 80 hour game into like a 50 to a 70 hour game. Because on the regular, I believe this is a 40 hour game. The first 20 hours is the story, and the next 20 hours is the second half of the story. Or the next half of the story is the next 10 hours of story. And then you have leveling up, and you have secrets and all that stuff. You got another 10 hours. So, in all truth, this is like a 40 hour game. If you speed run it, you might get it down to 30. But if you don't speed run it, but you still move fast through the game, it's a 40 hour game. That's what it feels like to me. If you ignore anything else and just move through the story, you don't speed run it, you just move through the story. It's like a 40 hour game, 30 to 40 hour game. And if the 40 hour game is the standard for the game, then trying to find everything else is probably an additional 30 to 40 hours. Maybe at maximum or even at minimum. Still, if it's at maximum 80 hour game, or it's at minimum a 60 hour game, 60 or 50 hour game, that's still not including the story, a lot of hours. If you're just including just the story of the game itself that you're playing, and you're going from beginning of the game to the end of the game, just following the story, and the game gives you resources, armor, and stuff, and you attach to your characters that you buy in stores and all that stuff, and you're just following the story alone, it still goes to anywhere from 30 to 40 hours. I cannot see this game being 30 hours, that's the thing. I believe at minimum you would have to spend 40 hours on this game, at minimum, because you have to level up if your enemies are strong, which means you have to spend an hour or two to become stronger, and the hour or two at the beginning of the game, to the middle of the game, to the end of the game, that's an additional 6 hours. So it technically wouldn't be 30 hours, it would be like 36 hours, 36 to 40 hours. So in all truth, it would be like a total of anywhere between 35 to 40 hours. Like if you're actually trying to breeze past just the story itself. And that's by itself, a 35 hour to 40 hour game is long. Any game that's under 10 hours, it's a very extremely short game. It's probably not worth your time. Any game that's about 10 hours long, those are called cinematic games, movie games. They're only meant for you to play it for about 8 to 10 hours or 12 hours. That's it. You could complete it in one sitting, one day. But a game that's anywhere from 30 to 40 to 50 hours, that's not something you could do in 1 or 2 days. You have to do it in like 3 days. Because no one is going to spend full 10 hours playing games unless they're a streamer whose sole purpose is to play games. And so games like this, you could finish it within a week if you're splitting them in sections. But like I said, I cannot see this game being anything in the 30 range. This has to be a game that's at minimum 35 if it's just a story, 35 to 40 if it's just a story. I would like to see someone beat this game in 20 hours. I would know there's some shady shit behind there, because there's no way. If the story is this long, there's no way you could beat it in 20 hours. because the story forces you to wait. Hell, even if you beat it in 30 hours, I still think it's shady, because you have to level up, and then you have to fight bosses, which also takes some time of the game, and you have to find secrets. And if you're not trying to find secrets, and you're not trying to buy stuff from stores, you eventually still have to wait. Regards to, not wait, you will still have to shuffle your items around with regards to what's best for you before you fight a boss. So you have to do builds. So it's not just the time of fighting the boss, it's also the builds. But it's mostly about the builds rather than fighting the boss. So, like I said, there's no way this game could be below 40 hours in my book. I'm giving it too much credit by saying it's 35 hours. This, at minimum, I think this is a 40-hour game. At minimum, based on everything I'm seeing. Even if you're just playing the story, I believe at minimum, if you're talking about the beginning of the game all the way to the end of the game and the credits are rolling, and the credits is done, and then you go back to the title screen, I believe that's a 40 hours. If you beat the game and the credits are still rolling, then you haven't finished the entire game, because the credits are part of the game. The story is not over because you have finished the game. The story is only over after credits is done. Just like watching a movie. The movie's not over. The movie's only over once the credits are over. That's why in some movies you have beginning, prologue, then you have the story, and then you have an epilogue. And those epilogues come at the end of the credits, or before the credits, and then you have the credits, and then the story ends. And most people put their end cutscene after the credits in order to force you to see the credits or the people in the film, like an after, like to acknowledge that you've paid attention to, at least if you don't give a damn about anyone in credits, you might see at least one or two people. And then they put a little end scene at the end of a film, and then the story of the film is over, because it cuts to black and then the film turns off and it's over. So technically, when the credits are finished, that's when a game is done. So I never say the game is over once I beat it. The game is only over once the credits is finished, because the credits are part of the game. And those credits could be anywhere from 3 minutes to 15 minutes, depending on how many people were involved. So even though, let's say a game is like 30 hours, it's more like 30 hours and 15 minutes. So you have to factor in the credits. And also, if a game is like 39 hours and 45 minutes, you cannot say it's just a 3-hour game, because you have to count those 45 minutes. And if the credits is additional 15 minutes, then it's a 4-hour game. So never say a game is 3 hours if a game is like 3 hours and 30 minutes. Or never say a game is 80 hours if a game is, 85 hours and 15 minutes. It's not an 80-hour game, it's an 85-hour game. You have to be honest and realistic about what you're playing. Otherwise you're bullshitting people. And then they go and play the game and they realize they're sitting down for an additional 5 hours because you lied to them. Some assholes out there in this world, man. They're like assholes everywhere. They can't just live their fucking lives. It's like, but dude, You ain't paying my bills, so you need to worry about what I'm doing at all. I think I should stop it here. I think I've played enough. I don't want to. I need this game to like be finished in like early January. So I'm gonna play this all of November and December. But I believe if I'm not at the halfway point, I'll definitely be at the halfway point by the end of November, which means the other half of the story is probably going to be finished in December. And knowing myself, trying to like find all secrets and items and then to level up, it's probably going to be done in sometime in January 2026. I don't see this being completed in February. I said I needed like anywhere from 3 months to do this. And yeah, because I'm not rushing it. So that's probably what I'll need. A full 3 months, both November, December, and January. I think I might beat this game sometime in mid-January. Based on what I'm seeing and the fact that November's almost over. And I might reach the halfway point by the end of November. I would say the basic story of the game, I could beat that within the first week of December. But seeing that I'm going slow, I believe I might beat it within the second week of December. But then there's other factors to put in place, such as me looking for secrets and then leveling up and then making builds to see which works perfectly for who, and that will take all of December. So yeah, I might actually beat this game in the first week of January or the second week of January, but no higher. I think by mid-January I should be finished. So technically should be 2.5 months, and I should be able to finish this game. It won't take me a full 3 months. If I have other responsibilities and things I have to do, then it'll probably take all of January. But I'll stop it here. I am getting closer to the midpoint, so I think it's best to stop it here and continue this maybe 3 days from now. Today is the 27th, and I might play the next video on the 30th of January. Yeah, I'll play it on 30th. I mean, not 30th of January, 30th of November. I'm not talking about 30th of January. So on 30th of November, that's probably when I'm going to play the next one of this. It's probably not going to be more than 3 hours, but who knows?